To become a knight of the Teutonic Order and to make a career within it, the candidate had to follow a certain procedure, as well as fulfill various conditions. As a rule, the initiative to join came from the father, who usually first found a position as a page for his young son at one or other court within the Holy Roman Empire. The candidate for the order had to be sound in body and mind, prove that he belonged to the old hereditary peers of the Holy Roman Empire, and on the day of his final admission be at least 24 years old. Furthermore, in principle since the 17th century, he had to have taken part in 3 campaigns against the Turks or any other enemies of the Holy Roman Empire, or have been garrisoned for at least 3 years along the frontiers of this empire. Once admitted, the future knight had to be a novice for 1 year, normally spending the first 6 months with the province commander and the second 6 months with the Grand Master or at the headquarters in Mergentheim. In the course of that year, the novice specialized in spirituality and the history of the Teutonic Order. Being at least 24 years old, he was then admitted to the order following the 3 eternal vows. At this ceremony, they specially emphasized the noble, the military, and the spiritual character of the Teutonic Order. By joining the order, the knight left his family behind for good. He died, as it were, as an individual to come to life again in the community of bailiwick knights. Within the bailiwick itself, he could then make a career for himself within the various commanderies, perhaps making it to province commander. The position of Grand Master was, definitely in modern times, reserved for the higher nobility only. Whereas the call of the Teutonic Order was increasingly for knights, priests carried out inferior duties within the order. One of their oldest missions, from the very beginnings of the order in Palestine, was hospital care. To the present day, brothers, sisters, and familiaries of the order are still engaged in hospital care. The priests were also responsible for pastoral care in the various parishes of the Teutonic Order. The bailiwick of Biesen had always had a large number of priests. At the head of them was the Grand Pastor, who managed the Saint-André commandery in Liège. Especially at the beginning of the 17th century, the priests of the Teutonic Order also occupied administrative positions within the bailiwick, duties that were later mainly taken over by stewards and councils of the bailiwick. Unlike the knights, the priests usually came from the middle classes or from the country within the area of the bailiwick. The headquarters of the bailiwick priests from Biesen was established in Maastricht at the priest convent Nieuwen Biesen. It was there that the novices trained under the leadership of the sacristan. It was a lot easier for priests to be admitted to the Teutonic Order than for knights. With the knights, the emphasis was as much on noble and chivalrous military matters as on spiritual ones. With priests, it was especially the spiritual matters that were emphasized. In this case, the ceremony mainly took place in church, where the priests took the eternal vows and where they were given the cross and the cloak of the Teutonic Order. In theory, priests were equal to the other clergymen, and indeed their income didn't differ from the other parish clergy. However, through their membership in the order, rich in tradition, history, and objectives, priests in the order felt superior to the other clergymen.